Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV here in Zurich at the Precious Metal Summit Conference. And now it's our honor and pleasure for the first time, Latitude66 Limited with Grant Coyle, who's the Managing Director. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. Latitude66, can you please give us a short overview on the company? What are you doing? Where are you based?
Sure. Yeah, we're a company that's just listed on the ASX only a few months ago. We've got assets in Finland and in Australia. Those assets have a focus on gold and critical minerals. Our main development assets are in Finland.
Okay, super. Then let's get started with Finland because I like Finland. It's a great mining jurisdiction, absolutely. And I saw in your presentation, it's gold and cobalt. So critical minerals, and we have in the European Union the Critical Minerals Act.
Correct.
So probably works in favor for you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really what we're pushing. We're lucky that we have the gold aspect, very economic, very high grade gold resource. And that cobalt aspect to us is very strategic. So as you know, cobalt a strategic mineral under the Critical Raw Materials Act in the EU. And so for us to have a really meaningful cobalt project there is amazing for Finland and for the EU to be able to get that project in development.
Okay, in development. So what have you achieved this year? What's the game plan for next year?
Yeah, so we've already got a really good defined project. So we've got a resource around our project already at 650,000 ounces of gold at 2.7 grams and 5,800 tonnes of cobalt at 0.08%. So already have a really good project. We're drilling out, so we've got a lot of exploration upside. So the deposits themselves are open at depth and long strike for further exploration work. And we also have another exploration region about 20 kilometres to the south of that deposit as well to be able to explore. We've already got hits through there about ranging between sort of 13 to 20 metres at 6 grams from surface. So everything we've drilled today is maximum depth of about 250 metres. So very shallow, very high grade, very economic deposit. What we're looking at doing now is moving into a study phase. So we'll be looking to get a study out on our project over the next few months. And then from there, push forward into a bankable feasibility study. And from there, really onto that development pathway.
Okay, when you say study, that's not yet a pre-feasibility, that's a PEA, or what is it?
It will be a PEA,
exactly.
Yes. So we've done a lot of work already. So we've done a lot of the MET test work and a lot of engineering. We understand the flow sheets, we understand the products we can get, which will be a cobalt concentrate and a gold door out of our project. And it's now just formalising that through the PEA documentation effectively.
Okay.
And then, but we're so advanced, we've basically that test work is at a PFS level. But what we'll do is get their PEA out, and then we'll move likely just straight into a bankable feasibility study.
Wow. Okay, that's a nice jump, I would say.
Yeah. Look, we've been up in Finland on this project 7 years, so we've been around.
Yeah, you can move it.
Yeah, we understand it. It's the resource itself is over 85% at the indicator level, so they'll move straight into a reserve.
Okay, how is the metallurgy? Because you said you have done already MET tests. So how is the metallurgy for the gold and the cobalt? Because I could imagine sometimes not so easy to get everything well out.
Yeah, correct. And that was one of the things we had, very, very surprised to the upside on the MET work they've done today. So we will produce, the flow sheet will be a gravity-fed cell plant. Gravity's coming out at about 50 to 60% recovery, so amazing. And then from there we get a flotation, we get the cobalt concentrate out through flotation. About 70% recovery on the cobalt concentrate, and then we effectively doing a cell leaching for the gold, get the gold door out, and we're getting about 93% recovery on the gold as well. So really high recovery, very straightforward flow sheet for us, and we get the two products, the cobalt concentrate and the gold door as well.
Okay, super. So next movement is straightforward then to the bankable feasibility study. That's great. So let's switch to Australia. What's going on there?
So Australia, we've got 3 assets down there. So as I said, development-wise, Finland's our focus. Australia, we've got some really interesting assets that we're looking to unlock value, either likely through a sort of corporate transactions on each of those assets. So our main asset down there is a joint venture we have with Carnaby Resources. That's a 17.5% free carried interest of a copper gold project in North Queensland. That's gone through the PEA phase. It's into a PFS now. It sits very close to Glencore's copper smelter operation up there. So there's a logical offtake partner. So we've got the ability to sit on that asset. As I said, it's a free carried interest to FID. So we don't need to exert any resources onto that asset ourselves. We can just sit there and ride out the upside. So that's sort of one we're sort of in discussions with a few groups on. Then we also have the Sylvania project, which is a gold and base metals project in Western Australia. That project itself sits about 15 kilometres to the west of Capricorn Metals' Kalwinda project, which is a large gold operation in WA. Again, there's logical partners for that asset that we'll have discussions with. And then we also have Edgerina, which is another gold project in Western Australia that sits in the Laverton hub. of Western Australia, again, it's more likely a joint venture sort of type or sort of a transaction on that asset itself as well.
Yeah, okay. So there, I'm always more friend to focus on one real thing and then let's rock it.
Correct, and that's our thing. We can monetize, get some funding to assist us with our finished assets, and that's really where we're going to focus. We see a lot of upside, a lot of value in those assets, so that's going to be a clear focus going forward.
Okay, super. Funding, that's also one of the keywords. What is cash in the bank?
Yep.
Who are your major shareholders?
Yeah, so we've got about 3.5 million just under in the bank at the moment. As I said, we've got other funding opportunities through these assets in Australia, which will be non-dilutive funding options for us, which is what we're going to be pursuing to be able to assist us moving forward. So, and then we've got a really strong share register. So our top 20 hold just over 50% of the company.
Nice. What's management share?
Management shares, we're sitting at about 10%, I think, through the management.
Good.
We've got very strong, very loyal shareholders that have been with us for a number of years now. A very good institutional following as well. So very supportive, very comfortable with our register, and as I said, they've been supportive through many years for us.
Okay, so the longer term picture, if I get that right, you want to bring Finland in production by yourself?
Yeah, we've got the asset there that we feel can come into production and be a very profitable operation. As I said, we've also got other projects in Finland as well, though. So it's not just KSB. We've got PSB and Kalari, all in northern Finland. Other projects for us to look at and explore and add value to. So we'll continue to do that. We think that KSB is a real project that we can get off the ground. And so that's what we're going to be pushing forward with the next 12 to 18 months.
Okay, super. Then I would say good luck for that. Thank you very much that you have joined us, and sounds really interesting.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Grant Coyle, the Managing Director of Latitude66, and you heard it. This is gold exploration in Australia, but also, I would say already development in Finland for gold and cobalt, which is really interesting because the cobalt we really need, but also the gold, of course, in the European Union. And that would help really a lot on the critical minerals list here of the European Union. So really check out the company. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Switzerland.